Hey, and welcome to the 6th level of Heretic's second episode. This is the Labyrinth. This opening is a disaster zone, so we are just going to quickly move through here. The ice, the lava, the things that can blow up, and the weird dragons who are just aiming at us. We don't want any part of that, thank you. There's a secret behind that wall there, and you have to walk off that line dev to grab it. So this is the titular Labyrinth here. It is pretty easy to navigate. There's quite a few items in here that you'll want to grab hold of, namely the crossbow and the yellow key there. You will need the yellow key to progress through this level. Also grabbed ourselves a flask there, which will be very useful. You can see that the outside of the labyrinth is layered with ice, which just makes this very fun. There is a secret behind that wall there. Make sure you grab it if you're going for all the secrets. Inside the yellow door here, once we go inside, you can grab the bag of holding. There's a few disciples in here that we need to take care of. And as you can see, the enemies I've been running past are now congregating in here, which means we're going to have a fun old time taking down all of these enemies. The main thing is don't get ambushed. Make sure you've always got your back away from the door there. Should be fine. It's not too difficult to sort of control the flow of these enemies. As we head around the outside here, you can see more enemies are coming in at the bottom there. We're just going to run away from them. The opening to this level is pretty chaotic, and if you're playing on the higher difficulties, you will want to move quickly. You won't want to be stuck in one area. You can see here we've kind of circled back to the opening of the level. It gives me a chance to grab all these wand crystals. But don't hang around too long, because as you'll see here, the weird dragons are back, and they are not happy to see me. Fighting these things on the ice is an absolute nightmare. Just make sure you take your time and you don't, sort of end up in the front of the fireballs there. We've got the yellow key. We do want the green key. I'm hoping that all the enemies that went inside the yellow door are still there. They are. As you can see, they've kind of trapped themselves inside, which is good for me. See them skating away on the ice there. Look at all these gargoyles. Just look at the mess that is there. I did use the egg power up there just to see how many I could get rid of, but it didn't really put a dent in the total number of gargoyles here. That's a lot of flying red things, let me tell you. This does give me a chance though to go back through the labyrinth, spend a bit more time in here to grab all the good items that we missed. We will be getting the other weapons soon, so it's a good idea to pick up the ammo as and when you see it. We'll head back through here. You can see there's still some enemies hanging around, but we actually need to drop down into this sort of canyon, sort of crater place here. It's not really made clear what this is, but we definitely do need to jump down here. Again, it's covered in ice. This episode really does love its ice moments, and it's something you just have to kind of get used to when you're playing Heretic. The annoying thing there is that I was trying to aim for the explosive things that would have killed it, but the auto aim kept putting the arrows towards the gargoyle instead. As we head into the middle section here, the green key is right there. And we've also now got the Dragon Claw and a bunch of ammo for it. This will make the back end of this level a lot more tolerable, let me tell you. The green door is down here. You can see we're seeing a lot of weird dragons towards the end of this episode. This episode really is not afraid to sort of throw them in your face. The main thing here is just to take your time going through these doors. There are going to be enemies in some of these rooms and they can shoot you across like that. Just make sure you're keeping your bearings straight. You can lose a lot of health in this room because there are a lot of weird dragons behind that wall there. And as you can see on the top difficulty here, they are not afraid to spam the fireballs. Excellent. When we go inside here, we can grab the Hell Staff. We're just behind the wall where we were just shooting. Very easy to get it back out. We really want the Hell Staff because there's a load of enemies at the end of this level. And we're going to have to deal with all of them if we want to get through to the exit. This brings us back up top and gives us a map as well. So we do kind of get to see the other parts of the level that we haven't been into yet. We grab the Tome of Power behind these secrets. All of these areas have secrets just outside of the door. There's a whole bunch of golems here, and when I say a whole bunch, I think this is the most we've seen in one place in this game so far. There's a lot here. We get the Ring of Invulnerability there. We definitely want that in this final room, and I am going to use that and one of the Tomes of Power. One of the best things about Heretic is combining the power-ups when you need them. It's really fun to just kind of come into a room like this that's filled with all kinds of enemies and just completely obliterate them. The game actively encourages you to save up power-ups and use them effectively in it. It's really a good idea to sort of get a good variety of them as you're going through the levels. We've got the Phoenix Rod here. It's pretty useless at this point in the level, not gonna lie. Just going around here quickly, checking that we've not left any gargoyles in the center. Sometimes gargoyles go into the labyrinth in the middle and they just kind of get stuck in there, and you can usually hear them shrieking. There's also a wall here that's opened up. You would not know this was here unless you looked at the map scroll, or unless you kind of do some late level exploration. It's an interesting secret, but it really doesn't add much to the level. It does mean you can get the Phoenix Rod before the final room though, so if you don't have the Phoenix Rod at this point, which means you can take it into the final room, it's useful if you know it's here. That's the main thing. I think we're done with this level. This isn't a particularly fond level in my memory. I think the Labyrinth is kind of understated, but there's a lot of ice on this level, and I'm not a fan of the ice physics in Heretic. I always feel that it's a bit cheap, especially when it's overused like this. Don't get me wrong, this isn't a terrible level by any means, but in my opinion, when most of the level's coated in ice, it does kind of cheapen some of the encounters. We've got all the kills, we've got all the secrets. That's good enough for me. What did you think of the Labyrinth? Do you disagree with my comments about the ice in Heretic? Do you think it adds a lot of variety to the game? Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are, and thank you so much for watching.